Welcome to our last volume in the Master's Program. This volume, which is number 15 in the complete Combat Hapkido videotape library, is the 5th volume in the Master's Program, which will bring the student to 6th-degree black belt. As you progress in the system, you got to learn how to be really more smooth and fluid with your techniques. And you refine it, and you attack smaller joint. You do things with less effort. And you will see now in this category called finger locking techniques what I'm talking about. Let's say, for instance, that the person is pushing you. He's doing one of this. You don't want to fight. You give him every opportunity to stop. However, the person insists on pushing you and putting his hands on you. Now, you could punch him, you could kick him, of course. But in this case, you want to restrain him. You want to control him. So, as he pushes you, one time, you step back. On the second time, you grab his wrist on the same side, okay? Because his hand is touching you, so you just lock it here. You remove it from your chest, and with the other hand, you grab the index finger. Now, if for some reason you grab the middle finger, that's okay too, but we'll work on the middle finger here. As you grab it, maintain the hold here, and bring him down. And this is your finger lock. Now, let me show it to you the other side with a little more detail. As he pushes, you take maybe the first push. On the second one, you grab his wrist. Then from here, you insert your thumb. Use the little finger here as the breaker board, okay, the fulcrum here. And then just push into him, like pointing a gun. So from here, begin to point. Now, if you let go here, he can kind of go with the pain. He can come under you and try to take you down. That's why it's important that you continue to hold the wrist here, press yourself, and you put the pressure. Now, if you want to take him all the way to the ground, no problem. Stand up. You do it, you accomplish it by doing this. As you release this, you got to replace it with another base. So you go all the way to the ground, and this is your base. The ground behind your base becomes your base. And you have a perfect lock here on a base. The more pressure you put, watch, still turning this way, watch what happens. Doesn't take much. Of course, you can break the finger, you can snap it, and you can disable it at that point, if that's what you want to do. If not, just maintain control and pain until he gives up. So that's your first finger locking technique. In the next technique, it's not pushing you, but almost. It's pointing a finger into your face. Sometimes they actually poke you like this, or try to touch your nose. Very intimidating, very nasty, very aggressive. And you know that there's maybe something else coming, so they finger in your face, which, by the way, may wind up as a finger strike into your eye. You don't want to keep it there for any length of time. So same thing here. You're gonna bring your hands up, and as he pointing the finger and getting close to you, you secure his wrist immediately and attack with the other hand. Now, this time what you're going to do from here, once you start putting pressure, you're going to turn him up this way. And this is your finger lock right here. And then you can turn it into a center lock, and then maybe into a different type of technique. So you start controlling his fingers in different positions. Here I control the little one. I control the thumb here. Okay? But it all starts with the simple gesture of pointing his finger at me. I move back. He continues to come toward me. One. Here is it. Now, I could take him straight down like we did before, but I want to do something different this time. So I just lock him up this way. I keep the pressure here. I can escort him somewhere here. Tremendous pressure. I can switch into the center lock. And this is your second finger locking technique. In these techniques, you're going to attack multiple fingers, not just one. Person's got his open hand in front of you, maybe ready to grab you, slap you, whatever he wants to do. He's got his hands up and he's moving his hand close to your face or something. Again, bring your hands up. You don't want to fight. You don't want to be confrontational, but he keeps on kind of coming toward you. So at this point, you take your hand and you turn it here and you grab his finger. Don't grab his hand. You're going strictly for the fingers here. And you twist it immediately this way. Then from here is many things you can do. From here, you can take him down this way. Brace him on the ground. Use your foot to keep him there. That's one way of doing it. And up. On the other side. Watch the detail of the hand here. Okay, it's got the hand here, ready to maybe jab you in the face or something. Bring your hand up. Come here. Okay, again, I want to show you one more time in detail. Come here, squeeze, and turn. Okay, there is a variety of things you can do here. You can then attack the thumb. You can go into this type of technique. You can key strike him. You can kick him. You can do anything you want. Or you can simply take him to the ground. You can reverse this and take him to the ground this way. So many different ways to manipulate the finger. The initial approach is really what matters. If you do that right, all the other techniques happen. So again, one more time from here. 1. You get him this way, you can take him straight back. Simple. Okay? Again, here, go up straight, this way. Don't take him back. Take him down this way. Take him up this way. Escort him outside of a building. You have such a pressure here, because not only you squeezing the fingers, but you're also pushing into him. Of course, you can switch it to this one here. You can switch it to this. You can switch it to this or to this. Finger locking is infinite. You can have all kinds of combinations. And whichever way you go is going to hurt. Okay? The next one starts as the previous one. He's got his hands open. Maybe he's trying to reach you or something. Before he grabs you, of course. You attack here, same as before. Turn, push the elbow into him. When you have him at this position here, strike the face to distract him. A slap will do, or a jab into the neck. Then come inside here, like this, and lock him here. Continue the pressure into the fingers, or let the finger go and go for this like we did in the previous technique. Attack, take down, whatever. But the finger is where he starts. So again, from here, he's got his finger coming toward you. Here, 1. Okay, here. Reach inside here. You want to switch, you can switch. You get him here first, then switch this way, and go this way. Different things that you can do. So you back here, you come around into this technique. From here, you just switch him around, watch, and bring him into a choke. And you got him here. So many variations, again, of the same thing. 1, attack, go inside. Okay. Like I said before, there is many different ways to attack the fingers. Let's say it's in a position this way. For me to try to grab his fingers like before, this way, it's very hard. It's impossible, actually. So you got to master different ways to attack the fingers. Okay, I want to show you this from this angle. I think you'll see a little bit better. So he's got his hands like this. So this time, instead of trying to go the other way, you go over the top. Still the same type of finger lock, but in reverse. So this time, your hands are up here. You reach, and you grab his fingers. Again, not his hand, his fingers. Squeeze the bone structure, and then drive him straight down, this way. Then from here, sit on top of him, literally with your knee, and keep this finger. Now, this is the detail right here. Watch, I release him, it's okay now. Watch as I start putting pressure here. See, that's all you have to do. Basically, this is all you want to do here. Okay, so when you have your fingers around his fingers, just go back like this. Okay, very painful because he's got a base on the floor. One more time, just the initial part. You hear, securing and taking him straight down. From this side, same thing. You hear, okay, maybe he's trying to grab my belt or reach for something. I step back, grab, squeeze, and then drive straight down. And he goes down with you. As he hits the ground, then put your weight in top of him and keep the pressure on the fingers. Okay, the next category is controlling and escorting techniques. Obviously, most of what we do in joint locking is all about control and submission. However, these are particularly geared to escorting people. So if you have a need, professionally or personally, to escort someone out or out of a building or into a patrol car or other places, these techniques are particularly well suited for that purpose. Now, it involves you basically taking the initiative. He's just standing there. He may know you're coming or he may not know that you are coming. Regardless, you approach in this particular technique. Don't move, stand here so we can show the detail first, and then we'll do it more dynamically. Stepping in this way, same side hand, upside down. Reach and grab where his thumb is this way with your thumb in top of his hand. Twist him fairly hard so you shake him up a little bit. Insert this one. Drop it this way. Don't keep it this way because it's going to slip out. So turn it toward you and escort it. The more you lift your elbow up, the more pain it is. And you risk also to taking it down. Because if I go too much, you will just fall down. If you want to take down, that's what you should do. But in this case, we said it was just going to be an escort. So as you're reaching, 1, 2, inserting, dropping here, don't lift your elbow too much, just enough to keep him in pain. And then you can walk him around. Okay, this is your escort. Now, if he happens to have nice long hair, or at least manageable, you can reach here and add this to the escort technique. That's right. Okay, so from that side, now one time from this side. Again, he's standing there. You may approach him from the side, from the front, from the back. It doesn't matter. As you approach him, reach here. 1, insert, lock, and escort. The next escort, or come along, if you want to call it, involves a very familiar technique, your center lock. So this time, as you approach him, same thing. You step in, but this time, instead of turning your hand this way upside down, you go with your hand straight, with the thumb up, in other words. And you go at the edge, outer edge of the hand, this way, instead of the inside of the hand, what is called the outside of the hand. As you secure him here, lift him up immediately, this way. Join with the other hand, step underneath, and you have your escort. You have your center lock escort. Okay, now, one more time. I approach him, he's standing there, minding his own business. Okay, one time from this side, to get a different angle. Same thing, I approach him from an angle, from the front, doesn't matter. As I come in, 1, 2. One hand, 2 hands. Doesn't matter, depends how strong he is. So you're going basically into the center lock. Remember, stepping in, outer edge of the hand, lift up, but don't lift up with your own arm going like this. Your arm, always your elbow close to your body. Stepping under, you have it. This one again involves a wrist lock that you've seen before. You can call it the S or the gooseneck, whatever you want to call it. How you get into it? Using the cross hand this time. So as you approach him, your hand goes this way. You want to go over his hand. This is the important detail. So you reach him this way, lift him up, bring him in, and lock him up. Okay? So a little more dynamically, as you approach him, you come in here, bring him here. And you can start your escort. Okay? It works from both sides, but just to give you a little different perspective here, okay, I'm going to attack the hand because this time I'm going cross hand. Okay? So as I approach, let's say from the front, I come here, 1, here. And this is your technique, your escort technique. Okay? Remember not to have him this way because he can escape. Okay? As you bring him up, you're going to brace him around on your chest, like this, good and tight, not under your armpit. Okay? That's the most important detail to remember. So again, approaching 1, bring him up here. The next one also you will recognize as the familiar hammer lock. This can be turned, of course, into an escort technique very quickly. Again, I approach him this time. As I'm coming in, I reach out with my crossed arm, and I bring it right behind his elbow, here, and lift him up. I'll show you what I mean. From here, coming here. And this is your escort technique. And you can start walking right away. Now, of course, if he tries to get down or do other things to fight you, you reach out here into the muscle, you bring him up a little bit, maintain the pressure here, and escort him wherever you need to go. Again, if he has long hair, great thing to do is to grab him by the hair, lock yourself here, and escort him. You can take him anywhere you want. It's not going to fight you. Okay? So let's get into the hammer lock again. It's there, you approach him, 1. This is your technique. 1, and then insert the other one right away, here. Pull the elbow here, make sure it's bent. Don't stay on the shoulder, go here. You got your controlling, you got your escort. You can go and take him whatever you want. In the next one, we're going to go back again to the hammer lock, but with a twist. As you approach him, you reach out to go into the hammer lock. You apply the hammer lock. You lift him up a little bit. This time you insert the other hand here. Grab his collar or his hair, pull him back. Remove the other arm. You still have a hammer lock now, but with a different hand. As he comes up, you can escort him. Again, go for the hair if you can. If he gives you a hard time, he's very strong and there is problem, then switch into a choke and escort him this way. That's just a different way of doing it. Okay, let's look at the detail from this side. I go for the hammer lock. I insert and come here. Now watch what happens from here. I lift him up a little bit more than I normally would, okay? And I insert my other arm in here. Grab his collar or his hair. His collar in this case. Remove my other arm. I don't need it anymore. Pull it back toward me. This is my escort right here. And bring him around. This for a left-handed person is perfect if you carry your weapon on the left side, for instance. You want to use your hand to control him this way. In this escorting technique, you're going to see a similarity with the hammer lock, but we're not going to go there. Let me turn Pedro around here. This one works better, of course, if he has his hand open instead of maybe in a fist like this. So you approach him, you reach out again with the crossed hand, but this time with your other hand open like this, with the fingers pointing down, you go in top of his own hand. As you reach in here, you put pressure into the wrist right away. Okay, of course, you're facing the wrong way now, so unless you want to escort him back forward this way, but he's walking backward, which is okay, depends where you want to go. If not, from here, simply step and turn around and maintain the lock this way. You've got to maintain his hand here for 2 reasons. Number 1, to brace it, to put pressure. And second of all, to protect you from him trying to elbow you in the face. So once you're here, okay, twist his wrist that way, maintaining the pressure here on his elbow. So this is the pain right here. The more you twist, the more pain he feels. And you can walk him around like this. Okay? So let's get into it once more. From here, I reach, my hand is upside down this way. Here, put pressure up right away, then turn, control him here, here, or here, it's good too. Twist his hand that way, and escort him. And that's your technique. What happens if you are attacked while you're sitting down? In a park, at the beach, by a swimming pool, many different places where you're sitting down, having a good time, relaxing, and somebody comes up to you, threatening you, and you don't really have the time to stand up. The best thing, of course, would be to stand up and fight standing up. But you don't have the time. The guy's already on top of you. You need to know some techniques for that. The first one we're going to present here, you're sitting down, minding your own business, any kind of position like this, and the guys start coming to you, start giving you a hard time. And you know the next is coming a kick or a punch, or he's going to try reaching to grab your hair or something. So what you do, you remove yourself away from his hands, leaning back
on your arm here, scooting down a little bit this way, lock your foot behind his ankle of the closest leg. Then from here, bring your knee up and kick him right into the knee. As you kick, don't just kick and recoil, kick and push down. As he hits the ground, just help with yourself with your hands, lift yourself up and do a nice axe kick right on his groin. Or maybe on the thigh muscle here, whichever you like better. It's still going to hurt him. So we're going to do it one more time to show you. Pay attention to the detail. That's why we do them slowly. You're sitting here, you start threatening you. Move back this way, then scoot down using the bottom leg to hook behind his ankle. Then from here, hit in a side kick style and push down. He hits the ground, help yourself up this way, kick or kick into the groin. And that's your first sitting technique. In the next one, little different mechanic here. You're standing here minding your own business. He steps into you and he starts, again, trying to grab you, punch you, whatever. In this case, again, the bottom leg goes out first. Get yourself down this way and hook. If you need to scoot a little bit, if you're too far, remember he's trying to reach for you, so he's trying to get closer. So you go with the bottom leg here and you hook behind his ankle again. With the other leg now, bring it out and kick the back of his knee, getting him forward. He goes down to the ground. Don't let him go at this point. You're not finished. As he hits the ground, maintain the leg in top of the leg here. Help yourself up. Come over here. Now you're in a nice leg lock already. Reach and grab his hair this way. That's a good finish if you want to. Or simply maintain the leg lock. And some punishment if you need to. Sorry. Okay, one more time. You're standing here. Move away from the attack in case he's trying to kick you or punch you. Then scoot down one, hook here, come around, kick. He hits the ground. Bring this up, lift yourself up, and as I said, simply just maintain this lock here, or if you want to be really nasty, reach out here, grab for his ear and pull the head back. That will hurt a lot. And that's your technique. Here, for instance, you're kneeling down. You're standing in this position. He comes up to you, and right away, he kind of pushes you to the ground, and you're falling backwards this way. He keeps on advancing, trying to choke you, grab you, get on top of you. Hook both of your legs, both of your feet, excuse me, behind his legs, at his ankle. And then using your arms, push yourself forward using the shins as breaker boards and go across his shins. When that happens and you do this, he goes down. As soon as he hits the ground, remain in this position. Lift up and straight into the groin with a kick. And that should really take care of the situation. Let's try this again. I'm standing here, kneeling down, whatever. He pushes me down, fall back. I hook my leg behind his legs right away. From here, he's still trying to reach me, but he's losing his balance now. Now I push myself up using the shin. When I get to this position, bang, I kick him right there. And that's the end of that technique. This one, again, should only be practiced with mats. It's a very dangerous technique. We will show it to you as slowly and carefully as possible. The attacker comes in and grabs both of my shoulder, trying maybe to choke me or something like that. I start going back, but I hang on to him this way. I grab him here. I position one foot in the ground, the other one right at the junction of his leg here. And I keep on pulling him toward me. As I do, I'll flip him over this way. And then I can go into a choke. Now we're going to review it again, but without the flip, because without mats it takes a toll. So just learn the mechanics are important. The flip is not. You can always do that. So from here, he grabs me or trying to choke me. I don't want to go all the way back down here because then he's going to mount me and we're going to a ground grappling situation. So what I do immediately is he comes there, I hang on to him, and I pull him toward me by bracing. Turn around, Pedro, a little bit this way. I want to show this detail. This is very important. As I go backwards, I place my foot here. And as I now lean back, I will lift him, you see what happens, and flip him back. Okay? We don't need to do that. But that's the important part. Let me show you how we get into it one more time. So you come sitting, one here, and then go for your choke right away. And that's the technique. And please be careful with this one. In this one here, as he comes toward you to attack you, okay, he has to step into you to reach you. So he has really no choice. He cannot reach you from far away. So one of his legs is going to be right here close to you. What you do this time, as he tries to reach you, you scoot under, one hand here, grab behind his foot. The other one, using your forearm, putting pressure right under his knee. Not low on the shin this way, right up against his knee. Then scoop his foot into you. As that happens, he goes down. Now you have a variety of foot lock, ankle lock that you can do. Even from here, very simply, just going this way and placing it into a nice ankle lock. You don't have to do anything complicated. Of course, you can kick. You can just hold on to him this way and punish him. Okay? You can flip him over. You can do this type of technique and flip him over. And then again, go up with different type of leg locks, like this. But to keep it very simple, Pedro, up, let's do it one more time. Pay attention to the first part, which is important. As he comes in, you reach, grab here, put pressure here forward, scoop the foot, he is down. And now if you want, as I said, you just scoot in a little bit, bring him under here, and you got yourself a nice ankle lock, and punishment if you want to, by hand or foot. So we keep it simple. Sometimes you're sitting down, and you may be attacked from behind. So somebody walks up to you, grabs your shoulder. As soon as you feel that, reach to trap, so you have a control of one hand. I know he can try to reach and punch you with the other hand, but you can't control both. So you reach this one here and strike him real hard. In this case, you'll be hitting his leg right here, the side of the thigh, which is good. It's a good shot. Bam, with your elbow. Then from here, you flip him over your head this way and drive him into the ground. Now, most people don't know how to flip, so of course he will go face down into the ground. If he knows how to flip, this is what's going to happen to him. And then from here, you can bring your foot up, strike, or switch around and come in with this type of kick and strike here. Okay? Let's do it again without the flip. So you're standing there, somebody attack you. Here, reach, strike right away, once or twice if you need to, if he's strong. 1, 2, move up. And then from here, you have like a center lock, but you're sitting down, so you need to bring him down. Now, as I said, many people that don't know how to flip, they will wind up, Pedro, with the face down on the ground. They will wind up this way in this situation, which is much worse for them. Okay? Up. So, one more time. We're going to show you this. He comes, grab, hit, and bring him around. Okay? Sit down, Pedro, here. And that's the end of that technique, without the flip. Again, you're attacked from behind. This time, the guy comes in and places you into a choke. Okay, immediately grab here and pull down so it doesn't apply the choke completely. Okay, here. Then switch your legs. In this case, my legs went this way. I want to go this way and flip him over into. And then you wind up in the dominant position here for arm bar or whatever else you need to do. Strike, mounted position into ground grappling, and so on and so forth. Okay, the important part that if you hear, okay, you can't flip him this way unless you bring your leg here to give you good balance. Okay, so now as he comes and choke me, again, I lock him here and I put myself down. See, he's lost all his balance now. All I have to do is roll over And then I have, and then I can go into an arm bar or different kind of technique. So that's your technique if you're being choked from behind when you're sitting down casually like this. Again, you're sitting, kneeling, in a relaxed position, doing something. Somebody comes up to you and starts choking, applying his hands against your shoulders or your neck or whatever. From here, get both of your hands behind his ankle and headbutt it into the groin or into the lower abdomen, whichever you can. Boom. Then flip him out this way. Now, when you have him on the ground that way, switch around. So from inside, go outside. Stand up, flip him over, go around, and now you have double ankle lock. Remember, if you sit on him violently while holding his ankles like that, you can snap both of his ankles. So be careful. He comes here, I lock him here, I headbutt him, and I pull his leg out. Switch around immediately. Get up. I got both ankles locked under my arms. I flip him as I turn around with him. Then from here, here is my technique. And that was that technique.
That concludes the master's program in the Combat Hapkido self-defense system. This 5 volumes series should have brought the student from 1st degree black belt to 6th degree black belt. However, understand that these are just the basic minimum requirement for empty hand. They do not include many other components of a Combat Hapkido self-defense system, such as ground grappling, trapping, cane, and other weapons, disarming techniques, and so on and so forth, which will be featured in other videotape series. So again, on behalf of Master Pedro Rodriguez and myself, I want to thank you for staying with us, and we'll see you next time. Master Rodriguez and I welcome you to the 4th volume in the master's program of the Combat Hapkido self-defense system. This video will bring you to 5th degree black belt. Okay, the next category is going to cover defenses against throws. Now, the chances are of a street fighter, a criminal, someone who's going to attack you, to try to apply to you a typical martial art throw are not very likely, okay? It's not going to happen. But once in a while, there could be a situation where someone has studied some martial arts or maybe watched too many movies, and he has picked up a few basic techniques. And during a struggle, he may try to apply this type of throw to you. Maybe some people had wrestling in college or some couple of years of judo, and they feel like they know how to do it, and they try to apply to you in a situation, a street fighting situation. As I said, it's not very common, but it may happen. So you need to have some techniques to protect yourself in case somebody tries to throw you. So the first one we're going to proceed, and we're going to do them very slowly so you understand the mechanics involved here of coming to throw me. His desire is to do this. Okay? All right. That's what he's attempting to do to me. Now, how do I prevent that?
As he comes and he grabs me, I step back, okay? Which leg you step back, it's really up to you. However, the direction in which he's turning, in this case he's turning this way, it's better to use that leg, okay? But even if you make a mistake and use the other one, it's still going to work. The idea is to prevent him from lowering his center of gravity under you and flip you. That's how people get flipped. So you're preventing it by doing this, by lowering your center of gravity and moving the center of gravity away from him. So when he comes, one. See, now he can't throw me. Very simple. As he's doing this, now I'm going to come back to his face, okay? Using both hands, not just one. One maybe first, and then I reach out with the second one. 1, 2, and then since already now my center of gravity favors me now, I just simply move his head back. He's blind right now, too. He's confused, he's blind, he lost his momentum, he's losing his balance. So here, simply take him down. And from here, finish in any number of ways. Okay? Step up a little bit this way. Okay, watch again. He grabs me, 1. See, I'm not using my hands right now just to show you perfectly what's happening here. Prevent him from throwing me. Okay? In reality, my hands will be a little closer, of course. So from here, I step. My hands are already here. I twist his head, cover his eyes, and then step back with your forward leg. And he hits the ground very hard. So that's your first defense against throws. In the next one, same beginning, different ending this time. So he approaches me, ready to go into a throw situation. Right? This is what he wants to do. Okay? So as he approaches me, I do the same thing. I move back. So now he's ready to pull me, but he can't. So now very simply, I got my hands free here. I reach, I grab, I lock him, and I go into my own choke. Since he's already off balance, I just simply drop him down. I can leave my knee here and drop his back on my knee, or I can move my knee out of the way and just sit him down, and I have him into the sleeper hole. Again, very simple, but every element of the technique has to be in place. The timing is very important here. As he reaches, I want to be here. Then I attack by bringing his head back, and I lock him into my choke. Okay? So if I'm too late and he comes in, now if I try to choke him, it's too late. He's going to flip it. Okay? If he's going to flip me, I can't choke him. So timing is everything here. He comes, 1. Then from here, let's say he has no hair. I can grab his hair. It doesn't matter. Go on the face. I lock it this way. Remember, my center of gravity is very nice in a long stance here. I'm done. I'm finished right here. Or I can take him to the ground. So again, everything is timing here. In the next defense against throws, you must understand that not always they will try to throw you this way. There is other ways to throw. One is around the waist, coming here, for instance. Another one is around the neck, coming here. So there is all different kinds of throws. So you got to make sure you have a little bit of a variety of techniques to deal with the different type of throws. We've shown you 2 from this position. Now let's say he wants to go around my waist or even around my neck. It doesn't matter. As he comes in, what I have to do, same thing as before. This part basically never changed. I'm going to drop my leg back, and I'm going to plant my forearm here in a live way, heat energy, into his kidney. So now he's trying to pull me into him, and it's not working. Go ahead, pull a little bit. See, it's not working because of my position and because of this obstruction here. Now, what I do from here, I reach out and grab his own arm here. I step in, and I drop on his leg with a leg lock. As I do that, I pull him into me. I sneak into my own headlock, and I bring him down, drop him down here, and then I lock him here. And he's finished. So from here, of course, you can let go and punish some more, or simply choke him out. Let's try this one more time. He comes to trap me. Oops, he lost his balance. We can do it again. I'm too fast for him. 1. See, this is it. I just killed his attempt to throw me. So from here I grab, position my leg here. I can sneak from the back here, like this. And now drop my knee on his knee, like this. And then lock him here. Now, of course, now I can remove my leg and finish into this position. So once you get into this type of grappling, you learn many different ways to sneak around him and to defeat what he's trying to do to you. The important part again here, as he comes, okay, 1, 2, you can go here, you can begin to go here into the lock, and this one here. This one alone is your leg trap, right there. That's your technique. Okay, the next one, he has executed half of the throw. He's getting there, but not quite. He has not secured it completely. So he comes in, he turns on me, and he's ready to throw me. I wasn't fast enough to move my leg back. So now what I'll do is this. Whatever side he's trying to throw me, I use the opposite leg, the other leg. Because of course, if I would lift this leg as he's pulling me, that's it. So this one I want, as a matter of fact, maintain as low as possible. But I use the other leg to wrap around him this way. And just drop my butt. That's it. What happens is he cannot throw you. It's an impossibility. But of course, the technique is not over here. This is just to prevent him. Let me show it to you from the front. As he comes in, and he prepares to put the choke, I just go like this. See, this is impossible for him to throw me. Although I screwed up by not moving my center of gravity back, he still cannot throw me now. Never mind how strong he is. See, even if he lifts me up a little bit, there's no way. Because my weight is dead weight here. Okay, having shown you the first part, which is the most important, we go into the finish. So, he comes in, he tries to grab me, I root my hand here. From here, I move this back, grab him here, lock him. I still got my leg wrapped around him, okay? Now what I have to do is throw myself down, wrapping both legs around him, okay? Now this is dangerous to do. You have to be very, very careful. So I'm just going to demonstrate it gently. What we're going to do, we're going to fold to the side, okay? This side here. So we're going to go like this, and I'm going to lock him here. So I got my choke, plus I got my legs locked around him, okay? You basically have him, you can lock your legs this way, plus the choke. This is how we wind up. Now understand that I do not recommend for people to do sacrifice throws and to throw themselves down. And it's not necessary, but it's just to show you that you can turn the technique into a very flashy, exciting type of technique. But in street fighting, it's not necessary all the time to do that. So again, here, he tries to throw me. Sorry. Okay, here, lock this leg up here into him. So now he cannot throw you. Push his arm out of the way. Reach out and place him into a choke. You don't have to go down. You can just stay here. Now you can remove the leg and take him back down. So that was just one way of finishing with the sacrifice throw. The other way is to unwrap your leg and take him back down. The next category, we're going to revisit bear hugs, as you've done before in the black belt program. We're going to add a few here and there. By now, you should be familiar with all the techniques that we are going to do. It's just like I said before, a different way of entering or getting into that technique. But you should be familiar with the basic locks that we're going to present. The first one, he comes from behind and he grabs me this way. My arms are in, so I don't have a lot of mobility. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to reach out and trap him here, step to the side and shoot my key arm back into him. Bang, this way. That should have an effect, probably break the grip altogether. One. Then I'll grab here and hit him again on the other side, here. Then, since I'm already holding the wrist here, very simply pass him over my head and place him into the center lock. Very painful. So again, you've seen the center lock before, but maybe never from this type of attack, from a bear hug. So you're learning how to get into different techniques from different type of attacks. Here he has you, trap him and strike. That loosens him up. Then from here, grab his wrist, cross hand. Of course, you're going across here. Strike him again here to soften him up. Then bring this one around, and you have him into the center lock. And that's your first technique. Okay, the next category is still bear hugs, but this time, person leaves you with the arms free. Now, of course, people will think, oh, it's easy now to give him an elbow strike to the back. But he's smart, he's a street fighter, so he hides his head, you see? So it's not easy to try to strike him from either side. So you got to find other ways to do your technique. So in this case, he's smart also, he's not keeping his hands open, he's hiding his fingers, so I can't really go play with his fingers. So simple way to do this technique here is this. Secure him on one side here, lower your center of gravity, and strike him with the palm in top of the knuckle structure here of his hand. So from here, peel him off. When you do this, make the fist again, when you do this and you step him down, at the same time as you strike him, you add a lot of energy, a lot of key power to the strike. Wham! Like this. See how you're already broken away this way. Now what you do, you spin around this way, you have him. Now, of course, a good choice would be a kick here, or if you want to use the back leg, kick to his leg, bam, to soften him up. Then you can bring him here for this bar, or you can step in for this bar, or you can simply maintain this lock over here. Again, multiple finishes, okay? The important part is how to free yourself from the bear hug. He's holding you tight, it's trying to lift you, to dislodge you, throw you off balance. 1, 2. Make fist again. Watch here. Detail. Right here. And twist the hand up. See, he already feels the lock. Now I spin around, and I decide how I want to finish from here. Kicking, attacking the joint. Okay? So that's your technique. Okay, the next technique, again, he attacks me, and he locks up on me, and he tries to lift me up and throw me over or something. Okay. Now, what you want to do here is very similar to what we did in a defense against a throw that we did before. As he begins to lift you up, hook one leg behind one of his legs. Now, he can't do that because you are hooked behind his leg and there is no way he can take you. As this is happening, however, you got to go to work on his hand again. So this prevents him from flipping you, makes him uncomfortable. Now you got to work on the hands here, okay? So you break him away and you come around, but this time, as you come around, instead of using this hand to go up, use the cross hand. And as you come out this way, you walk him into this type of choke. And you have a choke and a lock. Of course, you can now get down on your knees, take him down, and maintain him in this position. Now, if you want to release his arm, you can do that. And just concentrate on the choke. Okay? Or you can concentrate on the arm lock and forget about the choke. Again, that's your choice. So he has you here, tries to lift you, hook your leg up, break the hand away. Now maintain with the cross hand this time. As you're coming around here, you can bring him into this lock, or you can simply go back to what you did before, this way. Doesn't really matter. You are up here in this position. You can lock him here. You can then bring him here. There's many different things that you can do that are advanced. Remember this part. Turn around a little bit, like this. Remember this part here. Tries to lift you, hook the leg up. So that prevents him from flipping you. And then get to work on his hands. You have this way, you have this way, you have this way. Turning around, bring him in this way. Different things that you can do. But remember the important part of hooking the leg. The next segment is devoted to attacking techniques. Now, we're not here to discuss the legalities or moralities of attacking, but there are some times when you need to take the initiative. If you need to restrain someone, or if you, by virtue of your job, need to escort somebody out or whatever, you may need to take the initiative. Now wait until this person physically attacks you. So we'll examine the mechanics of this. Person is standing there in front of you, and you need to take control of them before they hurt themselves, you, somebody else. You know there is a situation where you must take immediate control. One good way is to spin the shoulders. Spinning the shoulders is very effective, but you got to do it simultaneously, going in and back toward you. So in other words, using both hands at the same time, not by pushing and pulling, but by pushing and pulling at the same time. So you approach the person, your hands are already up for protection, and as you talk and distract them, maybe verbally by talking or something, as your hands come here, you turn them around very suddenly. What are you doing? I did it very fast here, but what are you doing? The palm here goes into the crook here of the shoulder, while the other one catches here. And then you're doing this simultaneously, turning the person. Okay? So when you approach the person coming here, okay, one, and then you're already in a lock position for a nice choke. Pushing the head here, locking, and here is your choke, and you can escort them out or take them to the ground, depends on what you want to do. So very simple. Let's examine this again. Okay? Your hands are already up here. They should always be here in a confrontation, regardless if you need to strike, trap, deflect, whatever. So your hands are up here. You verbalize. You are now in range. So here, very subtly, and then put one right behind his head right away so it doesn't try to headbutt you or something, and then secure a good choke. And this should be, enough to take care of him, either to take him down or to escort him. And that's your first attack technique. The second one begins exactly the same as the other one, with the shoulder spin. However, this time you go straight to a takedown. This time you don't worry about escorting or anything. You want to take the person down to the ground immediately. So as you approach, you do your spinning. Now, remember, when you do your spinning, it can be done this way or this way. It doesn't really matter which way. You decide which way you want to spin it. Okay, so in this case, we're going to go one, and then you're going to reach with the forward hand, the one that is in front, into his trachea. Then join with the other one in the back of his neck, and just simply take him straight down to the ground. And keep the pressure in the pressure points, right there. This is for extremely belligerent individuals that you think are dangerous, and you need to immediately restrain them and take them to the ground. We're going to do it one time from this side. So again, from here, I approach with my hands up. I reach to hook and push at the same time. One movement. When I'm here, I'm going to spin him around for you so you can see what I do in the front. As soon as I do that, my hand reaches here immediately. Goes right here into the trachea. While the other one goes right here. There's another pressure point. The combined pressure in, like this, okay, will do the job for you. Here. Now, step back. Don't throw him on top of yourself. Step back and throw him straight to the ground. Keep the pressure there until you are secure and safe and know there is no threat to you anymore. So the pressure points are very effective in this area. And I don't care how strong the person is, they're going to feel it. So once again, you're doing your shoulder spin, one. Then this hand comes immediately here, and the other one in the back here. If you can reach the sternocleidomastoid, it's fine, but it's too far to reach it. So stay here at the base of this muscle, right here. And this one goes behind the trachea, right here. Okay? And then you take him straight to the ground. This time, the confrontation has escalated a little bit already. It's no longer like, threatening like this. He's got already his fist up in the air. He's menacing. He's getting ready maybe to attack you or something. Don't wait for him to fire the first punch. You don't have to. So in this case, your hands are up again. You're now waiting for him. You're reaching same side hand, not crossed, same side first. From here, you reach as you're stepping a little bit to the side. The reason why you step into the side is because if you reach here, he can come and cross you right away. Instead, if you go like this and he fires the punch, you got a better chance to deflect. You have to kind of follow you. So from here, I'm going to do the whole technique now. 1 and 2. And you bring him down to the ground immediately. Okay, and I'm going to do it again slowly. So from here, even if his arm is not far out this way, it's closer to him. It doesn't matter. You step a little closer then. Again, you verbalize, you distract him, you keep your hands up in case he fires before you're ready. And then go here. See how I step out of the way from the second punch? 1. Coming here. Now this one becomes my lock here. And down he goes. I can kick my leg out, of course, and drop down into a tremendous shoulder and elbow lock. One more time. I'll show it from this side. Show a little bit different perspective. So I'll give you my back, but you'll see a little bit different perspective from here. 1, and coming around this way. Okay? Once more, the initial part. You're standing there. As long as you can touch him, you can reach him. Okay, from here, 1. Strike, break, whatever. That's your attack technique. This category will cover defenses against tackles. When somebody attacks you with a lot of momentum and energy, try to either throw you to the ground or grabbing you this way, getting into a grappling situation. The best thing to do is always to prevent it instead of going down to the ground. If you do go down to the ground, then Master Rodriguez will teach you later what to do. But right now, we are concerning stopping your attacker in his track. You don't want to be grabbed, you don't want to be thrown to the ground. In the first one, as he comes toward you, what you do, you slam both of your forearms, not the hands. Because if you do the hands, it may damage your wrist, or you may not have enough energy to stop him. He can continue pushing. See, this is what happened. So what you do, you use your forearms, and you collapse your wrist like 2 hooks here. And you're going to stop him in his track. And of course, what you have to do is to spread. Some people call it the sprawl, the spread. You're going to bring one leg back at this point and lower your center of gravity. After you have stopped them this way, what you're going to do is now, since you killed this momentum, you're going to bring your hands in front of you, cross them this way, and hit his face, going out. So in other words, what you're going to do after you do this position, you're going to bring him here, go like this, okay? Of course, you don't want to hit your partner in the face. So from here, okay, come back out, maintain your elbows here, so they're still putting pressure against them, okay? Maintain your elbow here, cross your hands, and then shoot them out. As you do that, follow with a front kick, groin, stomach, chest, how high you can kick, or you want to kick. One more time, he comes at you, 1, bring him here, 1, finish with your kick. In this technique, beginning is basically the same. He rushes at you, you place your forearms this way, okay? You exert the same type of pressure as before, but now this time you leave your arms there and actually pull him into you a little bit because you've already done the spread, you stop this momentum, now you come up and boom, you hit him with a knee strike to the center mass. As you're doing this, as you're coming up with the knee, you strike him, you put your leg down, you switch one of your arms, go under his arm this way, and place him either hammerlock or in a complete armbar. Show you the next one. 1, 2, and come here. You got your arm lock here. Or you can throw him. Next variation of the same exact technique. Here, 1, 2, and here. So as you can see, you have again 3 finishes to this technique, whichever you like better. 1, remember, this part is always the same. 2, now you're striking him. 3, you go here and you go into hammerlock, or you go here, change the hand, put it on top of the head, flip it if you want. And then you have your finish. So regardless of how you decide to go, the first part is what you really want to concentrate on. Here, bam, here, bam. And then bringing one hand under this way. And then deciding what you want to do at that point. In the next one, he rushes at you. Okay, this time lock his arms. Okay, don't go into the shoulder. This time it's a different technique. As he tries to lock up you, go into his arms and spread. Stay wide so he doesn't grab your legs or doesn't pull you or push you the way he wants to do. And then once you are locked in this position this way, it's almost like a standstill here. Nobody's winning. You step behind, and here we go. Armbar with the takedown. One more time. Very simple technique, very effective. One, here you are in a grappling situation. Step in, take him down. And you're done. Important part, trap his arm into you and spread your legs. Okay, the next one, again, he rushes at you. Back to this system over here with the hands. However, this time what I want you to do is remove one of your hands, push his head a little bit to the side, and strike into his groin. Here. And then from here, flip him. And then finish. Okay, let me show it to you a little slower, step by step. If you place your hands here, that's fine. You're coming around here. If you go like in the other technique, over here in this type of situation, you can probably sneak here from the outside without having to go inside here. But the idea is always, as he grabs you, okay, here, go into the groin, with a strike to the groin. Then go into this. Now, this works even better if he tries to tackle you by grabbing your shoulder. As he comes this way and try to grab you this way. This is even nicer because now you have no obstruction here. So all you have to do is to spread, hit. Your arm is already here, and it makes it much faster. So regardless of how he attacks you, you can still do the technique. But the better way, the best way, is if he tries to do this type of tackle on you. Here, one. Because now, almost like a bear hug from the front, you spread, and you got a free shot right here. The arm is already in position, and now either you put him in a hammerlock, or by placing your hand here, you flip him over. Gentle, here we go. And down he goes, and you can finish. So, regardless of how the attack is, you can still do the technique, but it is preferable to apply this type of strike when there is no obstruction, when it's trying to go for the upper part of the body, because you got a free shot here. It's easy, you don't have to manipulate to get there. Practice the next technique only with mats, and be very careful, because again, it's extremely dynamic. You're going to flip the person over fairly high and drop him to the ground. Only with mats you should practice this technique. When he tackles you a certain amount of speed and energy, simply, slowly, step to the side a little bit, catch one arm, hit the head of your attacker this way, and create a circular energy going this way. And again, it will flip, and then finish in a variety of ways. Let me show you the mechanics again, which is the important part here. From this side, you're going to see my back. You're going to see how I insert here. This is important here. Strike here. Lift up his arm as you're pushing his head down. From the other side, as he comes in, one, this is exactly what you're doing. And regardless of where he winds up on the ground, you can use this knee, you can go attack a joint, you can kick, punch, any type of follow-up. One more time, very important. Slow motion. As he comes in, strike, raise up, push down, rotate with your arm. On this side, again he comes in, step to the side, this one goes up, this one strikes and pushes down, and flip him. That's your technique. Please be careful. The same thing applies to this technique. Okay? Absolutely, you must have mats to do this technique. When he rushes at you and you see him, maybe you're standing sideways this way to him, and all of a sudden you perceive him attacking you, you don't have the time to do a lot of things. Smart thing to do at this point is to drop yourself down this way. So as he attacks you, slowly come in, what's going to happen is that he's going to basically roll over you. And what you want to do is raise your hand, try to stick your hand here, and as he flips over, he goes on his own. See, I didn't do anything, basically. I just allow him to lose his balance and roll over me. You don't have to lift him up with your shoulder or anything like that. Okay, so this is extremely dynamic, and you got to be careful as you're doing it. You're standing there, you perceive somebody attacking you, just crouch down and go like this and finish him on the ground. He's already on the ground because he fell, and now you're here to finish your technique. So you can practice this in class very carefully with your mats and do it over and over again with your partner, being careful, and you see that it gets smoother and smoother. It's a fun technique, but it also requires a certain amount of physical ability, and you have to be extremely careful. Once again, this even more so needs to be practiced with mats. Extremely dangerous technique. As he approaches you, what you want to do here, as he comes into you, you go in this way. So in other words, one hand goes underneath here, but the other one comes in the other side of the neck, like this. Let me show you from this side exactly what happens. As he comes in, you're going to go like this. Once you have him now in this position, okay, you have him basically ready for a guillotine choke. And as you're going into that, as you're applying the choke, you've got to sit down and flip him over. So we're going to do it, as you know, we have no mats here. We're going to do it very carefully. Hold on to his neck, okay, tight. Sit back and let him flip over. So here, and down it goes. You have your choke here, okay? You maintain it, and you can really hurt him at this point. One more time. As he comes, sneaking in. Remember, as you're sneaking in here, this is also a strike. Bam, here. Lock him here. Now, let me step back a little bit here. I'm going to sit down very gently, hold on to his head, and he's going to flip. Here, down he goes. Okay? You still got a hold of him, and now you can proceed to the choke. Needless to say, again, be extremely careful with this technique. His neck is locked into your hand. As he flips, you can break somebody's neck. When he lands, if there is no mats, he's going to injure himself. So let me stress this again. Be extremely careful with these type of techniques. All these group of techniques are very dynamic and involves throwing the person. So use good judgment.